in Fusion, it will display pricing segment and pricing strategy. It won't display price list in the sales order. It won't display. So the moment you enter the customer, immediately application is identifying the pricing segment and pricing strategy for that customer. Suppose in this scenario, you created a new customer, QWER. You create a new customer called QWER. So if you enter that new customer in the sales order, it will display. It will display if you enter that customer. But if you go here, for that new customer that we created for QWER, what is the pricing segment and pricing strategy? Understood my question?
Nothing because it is not classified.
Nothing. Yes. Because the customer is not classified. Your pricing segment, it will display nothing, and your pricing strategy, it will display nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So far, good.
Yes.
Yes.
The same way, you can configure the fifth scenario also. We have here. So here our customer classification is based on special customer distributor, right? So here, what is the customer classification here? Whether the customer is a small customer, medium customer, or large customer.
The customer.
So this one and this one both are same, right? Almost same. Only the customer classification is different here. Correct? Clear with the second and then sixth scenario?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Sir, please repeat. Sir, please repeat this.
What I'm saying, how you achieve the sixth scenario? Sixth scenario and second scenario also same, right? Because second scenario are classifying customers based on end customer, special customer, distributor. And in case of sixth scenario, the classification is different. That's it. You're classifying the customers based on large customer, medium customer, small customer. That's it. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So second and sixth is same. The way of configuration is same. Only here the classification is different. Classification in the sense, so you classify your customers instead of small end customer, you classify maybe like a small customer, like a medium customer, correct? Like large customer. Understood? So similarly, other setups also follows. Like you create a small customer pricing segment, okay, and small customer pricing strategy, small customer price list. Good. Understood?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes. So like this, you're able to handle any type of situation if you want to derive the price based on the customer classification, correct? So here I've given two situations only. Maybe it could be many situations where the price is different based on the customer classification, customer type. Okay. Now, what about this case? First case. Price is same for all customers. In this case, are we classifying the customers in the first case?
Yeah, we're just gonna make one classification. Right?
No.
Okay.
No, we are not
No.
classifying anything.
Okay. Both answers are right here. Actually, we are not classifying. Okay. Let's come to how to handle the first situation. How to handle the first situation, we'll discuss that. First situation, we'll discuss it now. So in this case, again, I'm taking these 5 configurations here to the first situation. In this case, we create customer. First of all, we have to create customers, right? We created customers called ABC and PQR, and we created XYZ and so on. Okay, we created customers. Now coming to customer profile, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. If you don't do anything here, so all these customers are falling into which classification? Null classification. Understood? Null classification. All these customers are falling under null classification. Null. Okay. And here, only one price list, right?
Yeah.
Only one price list. That's global price list. Create a global price list and create a global pricing strategy. Create a global pricing strategy and create a global pricing segment. And link your global pricing segment with the pricing strategy. Okay, and here we can configure like this the system. Understood, team? So here for null behavior, please pick up this pricing segment. We are saying that like that. For null behavior, please pick up this pricing segment. For this pricing segment, which strategy that we have assigned? This strategy. This strategy we have assigned. This strategy is containing which price list? Global price list. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we say global, is it within that BU or across BU?
This is for all the views.
All the BUs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is for all the views. This is the first case, how to handle the first case. Everybody is able to understand this scenario, how to configure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now what else? Now 1 and 2 is done. And 3, 4, 5 is pending to discuss. 3, 4, 5. Now here simply the condition is we would like to identify the price list based on the business unit. Correct? Here price list should be identified based on the order type. Here the price list should be identified based on the customer. That is the conditions here. How to handle them, these three. How to handle these three. I'll come to that discussion. Now for these three situations, let's take these 5 setups. 5 setups. So here are we here for these 3 cases, this is not required. First setup is not required. When you don't have a customer classification, second setup is also not required. Second setup is also not required. Only we can handle using these 3 setups. These 3 setups, using these 3 setups, we can handle the situation. Okay. Now here, what is the condition here? BU, right?
BU.
Let's take India BU. India pricing. Yeah, correct. India pricing strategy. India price list. That's it. Understood? We created India price list. That India price list we have assigned to India pricing strategy. This India pricing strategy that we assigned to which BU? India BU.
India view.
Similarly, if you're having one more BU, let's take you have a US BU. So for US BU, create a US pricing strategy and create US price list. And to US BU, you want to do good, because when you are creating a sales or you select the BU, right? You're going to select the BU. Customer could be any customer. We are not. Are we bothering about the customer here? Are we bothering about the customer here?
No.
No, right?
No.
The price should be based on the business, and so you're selecting the BU here. If you select India BU, it takes for India BU what pricing strategy is assigned. This pricing strategy, it goes to this price list. That's it. Suppose if you select US here, it goes to for US
US.
BU. What US strategy is assigned? It takes that price list. That's it. Good.
Krishna, one question since we're talking about BU level. So if I have to have a BU, say, let's say US BU, if there is a customer, I want to charge specifically, and India BU, I want to charge differently. Then how do we do that? Like, if US BU, large customer,
So here,
and India BU, large customer, different.
so here.
Okay, let me phrase it this way. Maybe I phrase it wrong.
I understand your question. Understood your question. Okay. You are talking about mixed situations. Okay. You're talking about mixed situations.
Yeah.
Sujita, madam, mute yourself. The baby is playing, I think. So here, the question is the mixed situation. Like not only based on the BU, based on the customer also. Okay. So here I have used only one condition, that is BU condition. That's BU. You can also add one more condition if you want here, customer also. You can add one more condition called customer here itself. So not
In
only
the
based on the
assignment,
BU, in the assignment itself, you can handle any other conditions that you want. You want based on the
Like we can
customer
assign
or based on the customer type.
Okay.
Okay.
Like customer segment.
So not only here, I'm just talking about only one condition here. Okay. You're adding only, you're deriving based on one condition, that is BU here. You can also put a combination of BU and customer. You can also put combination of BU, customer and customer type here.
Got it.
Okay.
Krishna. Thank you.
That typical scenarios I will explain you later, because if I introduce that sort of complexity during the basics explanation itself, you're going to miss the ground reality and basics.
Okay.
That's the reason
Okay.
I don't want to introduce complexity during explanation of the first class.
No problem. Thank you so much. Anytime if you see like my question is bringing more complexity,
No
you can
problem.
tell me, you can explain me later.
No problem.
I will hold for that.
No problem.
Okay. Thanks.
Understood how to handle this situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, how to handle this situation? Order type. Same here. Condition is what? BU. BU, right? So instead of BU, order type is your condition. Order type is your condition. That's it. What order type you created? You created order type called standard. Or you created order type called whatever. Whatever the order type that you created is based on the order type. We derive the price. And what about this situation? Customer here, in place of order type, you can just enter the customer name also directly here. If the customer is equal to ABC, and then ABC pricing strategy. Okay. And this is customer specific price list, right? This is, maintenance is very tough here. Because you have to do it for every customer. So here, what is the condition based on the customer? If the customer is equal to ABC, then ABC pricing strategy. ABC pricing strategy is linked with the ABC price list. If the customer is equal to XYZ, customer is equal to XYZ, then XYZ, the customer pricing strategy, XYZ customer pricing, XYZ price list. But you have to repeat this configuration. Suppose if you're having lakhs of customers, you have to repeat it. Because I'm talking about 2 customers only here. For 2 customers, how many price lists we created? 2. How many pricing strategies we created? 2.
2.
How many assignments we did?
2.
But if 50,000 customers are there,
50.
1 lakh customers are there, 10
1
lakhs
lakh
customers are there.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, 10 lakhs of customers are there. You created 10 price lists. That's fine.
Yeah.
Suppose let's take you introduce a new product, and that new product you are going to sell to all the 10 lakhs customers. Then that new product has to be added in the 10 lakhs price list, right?
Yeah.
Has to be added in the 10 lakhs price list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The maintenance is more in this case. I mean, you can also advise the client. Yeah, I can configure this, no problem from my side. But going forward, today I'm going to do the configuration for one time, but going forward, you have to maintain this. To maintain this, it will take a lot of time for you. You can advise the customer. Suppose in this case, maybe business unit, if you take business unit case, maybe you might be having 10 business units maximum for 10 countries. So you repeat this for 10 times only. Correct? Maybe order types also, maybe you're having 10 order types. You repeat for 10 times only. But when you go with the customer specific price list, it's a maintenance. Okay. So I'll show you how to configure all these 5 situations. We will go with one situations. One scenario I will explain you, I mean, by doing end to end. But other scenarios, how to do the configurations, I will show you and I'll leave it. Because it's not possible to configure all the 5 and it's not possible to show you all the 5. I will show you one end to end, but remaining I'll show you how to configure. That's it. Okay.
Krishna, I have one question. So in case if there is a client who needs to pay in a non-functional currency, so we'll have to define a specific, like they are not dealing with dollars, they are dealing with euros. So then we'll define the new price list and the assignment would have a condition for currency then.
Actually, you don't need to, I'll tell you one example, madam. When you're defining a price list, it will ask you to enter your BU.
Okay.
You're going to define the price list specific to the business units.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're defining a price list under a specific BU, what is the functional currency of that BU? The functional currency is dollar or INR. Okay.
Yeah.
Suppose if this BU functional currency is INR, then what are the price that you are entering here? Suppose if you enter 500, that 500 is nothing but INR.
Yes.
But you can also create order in other currency also. You can select the order currency here. If you go here,
edit currency.
Edit currency details, and you can also change the currency to something else. But the only thing is the conversion should exist between the pricing currency with that order currency. That's it.
Oh.
The exchange rates.
Okay.
So here, what is the pricing currency here? INR.
INR.
And what is your order currency here? Euro. There should be exchange rates.
Okay.
Defined in your application. And automatically application is going to handle the conversion here.
Okay.
And
do we have
go ahead.
Do we have this corporate conversion the same
Yes, same
functionality
Yeah.
here too?
Correct. Same.
I think that's part of the setups.
Correct. Yeah, conversion rates. I discussed about the conversion rates during the currency discussion. And this is Oracle documentation link. I find really good this documentation link. Because whatever the situations that I have told you or the scenarios which I faced in my projects, I faced, and my wife is also a supply chain consultant and she have faced. So all these different scenarios I faced and my client faced, I'm explaining the classes. But later when I'm going through the Oracle documentation later, I find these scenarios Oracle also given here. Here, I will tell you there is something called use cases itself or somewhere, or FAQs, something should be there here. And this document also really beautiful. Thanks for the update. But anyway, I'll stop the session today early. Somewhere there is something called FAQs, frequently asked questions. There, whatever the scenarios that I have covered, it's given by Oracle somewhere here. I would suggest you to go to this documentation also. I mean, if you are having time, how pricing for a sales audit will work with a picture example. And can give me a few minutes time. I'll be back. Okay, few minutes time.